Oh, okay. So everybody just want a little piece of the pink, huh? Hey everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel, #MovieBae. I am MovieBae, and in this video, I'm going to be recapping and reviewing episode 4 entitled Demetrius of PValley Season 2. But before I get to it, though, I want y'all to drop down and hit that subscribe button. Thank you. Because here on MovieBae, I do reviews, reactions, and commentary to movies and television. And if that's the type of content that you find yourself looking for, you might as well hit the subscribe button and stick around. Alright, so let's go ahead and hop into these storylines like y'all know I always do. We're going to start off with Patrice. It's official. Patrice is running for mayor of Chucalissa, and she is still against the casino. Alright, Andre is also running for mayor of Chucalissa. However, when he comes home to get permission from his wife, he walks in on her cheating with a coworker. Full peen in mouth cheating. And he gets mad. Now let's talk about it. Andre, you cheated on your whole wife all the first season. Now you feel like you got the right to get mad and make her feel bad about cheating on you when you was cheating the whole time? You was cheating first. But I was watching this episode with a homeboy, and he was like, that's different though, because he walked in on it. He saw it. She never saw it. I'm like, yeah, okay, so when you see it, you're going to be mad. But how dare you try to make her feel bad for it when you did the same thing? That's the problem I got an issue with. Okay? But all the while, after he beats the dude up, him the dude up and then kicks him out, he goes on like, well, I came home to ask my wife for permission to run for mayor. And then he just started like crying and pouring his heart out to her. I'm like, you just found her cheating on you. This is weird. This is weird. So the scene was written weird to me, okay? Because eventually he tells his wife that he was running for mayor, and she was like, why would you run for mayor? You ain't gonna win. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it should have been written like, I came home to ask for your permission if I could run for mayor, and then she stopped him and be like, mayor? Just like you. My daddy offered you a job and you turned it down all to run for your goddaddy job. You ain't gonna win. It should have been like that. Because why are you getting all sad and emotional in front of this woman who just cheated on you? I thought you was just mad 10 seconds ago. Like, I just feel like that scene was a little weird. But nevertheless, Andre walks out, set his mind set on being mayor because she laughed in his face like, you ain't gonna win. So he goes back to Chucalissa and finds out that his goddaddy actually left him the house. So, boom. Now I have my own house. I got a headquarters for campaign. He's set. So, Andre is feeling good about himself, all right? Now, let's go ahead and hop on into Mercedes' storyline. So, while chilling, Mercedes gets a text from Coach saying, you need to come back and finish the Mercedes experience because y'all know she ran out last time because her daughter was calling. When she gets there, it's not Coach, but it's the wife catfishing as Coach. What the hell? Now, at this moment, Mercedes didn't know that. So the wife is just like taking pictures of her, and she was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute now. You said no press, no public appearances, and no flash photography, okay? But eventually, the wife and Mercedes, they kind of bond, and the wife is learning how to be sexy and stuff, but cringe because baby, I don't know. It's something about that twerking scene was funny because she was like, oh, am I doing it? No, bitch, you're not. But that's okay. You're cute trying. But then she was like, damn, I really wanted to hate you, which, you know, it's understandable. You really want to hate the mistress, but Mercedes is cool as fuck. And she admits that. But then she apologizes for showing her weakness to a stripper. So she is once again demeaning Mercedes' character. And then Mercedes is like, hold on, wait a minute now. Because look who naked now. And it's like that whole scene, to me, it was good before we get to what's coming next. To me, it was good because it's like, here you are yet again demeaning and looking down on me or thinking of me, the stripper, being less than you, the wife, when in all actuality, we all hoes for something. Look who naked now. Like, you are trying to take tips from me. You're trying to be more sexy. You're trying to be more confident. You're trying to be more strong. So, but yet you still feel like you're better and holier than thou. And it also goes into the conversation that we all have more in common than what we lead on to be. No matter what your stature or your status is in the world, never look down on somebody else, because y'all going through essentially the same things, and you can learn something from that other person. But literally, all the wife had to do was say, I apologize, I didn't mean it like that, before they start to have sex. I was like, Mercedes, how weak are you, bitch? How weak are you, bitch? I know you've been saving yourself for that fine dude, your neighbor, to get out of prison and stuff. But girl, she just demeaned you 10 seconds prior, and now you letting her eat you out? Like, what? It was not a sex moment to me. And it's a lot of not sex moments to me in this episode, but we're going to get to that in just a minute. But before we do, I want y'all to go ahead and drop down and hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying my commentary thus far. Thumbs up this video. It puts me in the queue for search videos when it comes to PValley reviews. Support black businesses. And go ahead and leave a comment. Is Andre in the wrong for making his wife feel bad for cheating, even though he was cheating? And Mercedes having sex with the wife. Like, what y'all think about that? Because if it was me, baby, I need more money, because I signed up for $10,000 with the coach. If the wife is included, I'm gonna need another 10 or at least another $5,000 a weekend, because that was not in the plan. So make sure y'all drop down and leave a comment on y'all thoughts thus far in this video. Now let's go ahead and get to this strip club drama. All right, so when it comes to this strip club drama, first and foremost, they have a performance to mask off, and it was lit. Like, mask off, strip club, Corona, boom. Like a recipe for disaster, evidently. Now, we get a cameo from Lauren Hawkins, who was in the first season. You know, the lady who spent her divorce settlement at the strip club and got locked up with Mercedes and Mercedes' mama. Damn, I think that was Murder Night too. Murder Night was lit, right? Anyhow, so she's back in the strip club, throwing money, getting lap dances. She goes back to the private room with Toy. Now, Toy is the stripper who's had allergies the past few episodes, right? So as she's getting her lap dance, Toy is getting into it. She takes her mask off. She takes Lauren's mask off. Lauren take her other mask off. And then Toy sneezes in her face. A big hatchoo. Spit particles, debris, just nastiness. Just all up in Lauren's face. So she throws a fit, grabs the microphone, and shuts down the Pink for COVID violations, because that's somewhere in her job title to do that. So everybody, basically, the Pink is shut down until they bring their building up to COVID standards, and they have 24 hours to do so, or they will be permanently shut down. Now, in the midst of this, Roulette is confronted about her extra streams of income. All right. And I feel like this was another scene that wasn't really written too well, because instead of, what was the girl's name? Brazil. Instead of Brazil, like, how it kind of like started, the banter kind of was like, oh, well, it's okay, youngin', I'll vouch for Toy. She's always had allergies. And then, what's her name? Roulette was just hostile. Like, whoop, calm down. Because if anything, it should have been like this. Roulette is upset because they didn't get to be pole ballerinas like she said. And then Brazil could have just been like, well, I don't know why you tripping, because I heard you got multiple streams of income anyways. See, short, sweet, to the point. No, like, confusion, no extra bullshit. Let's just get to it. Bitch, I don't know why you tripping, because you got multiple streams of income, Miss DSL. Like, what's good? By the way, last video, I was like, DSL, like, who still says that? Like, is this middle school? So I consulted with my Mississippi consultant, and she says, yes, sis, they do still say that down there. So, okay, script is accurate. It's just childish as fuck down there, I guess. But anyhow, Roulette decides to spur off on Brazil for spreading rumors, quote unquote, about her prostituting out of the Pink. And when I tell you she drags old girl, it was really, really embarrassing. Okay. I was like, bitch, fight back. Did you pinch the bitch? Okay. But Big L breaks it up and he pulls Roulette to the side and they kind of have like a heart to heart, basically about never be the finessee, okay? Be the finesser, all right? Yeah, he said have a heart to heart about being a finesser and not the finessed. We also get a glimpse into Roulette's kind of like her past. We find out she had a brother named Demetrius, who the show is titled after, and he was unjustly murdered by the police, all right? And that's going to be a big theme in this episode, because if y'all forgot, during the pandemic, the Black Lives Matter movement really was in full force because obviously there was a lot of unjust murders by police officers on people of color, on Black people. So that's basically the theme of this episode, and it looks like at least the next couple of episodes too. So Corbin comes back the next day, harasses Haley again about selling the paint. He offers $1 million. Now, I personally hate Corbin. Please write him out the show. Kill this dude off because I just hate how he talks to women. Every time he talks to Haley, he calling her some type of bitch and some type of hoe. Like, because not only are you unattractive, you weak. Okay, you weak as fuck. We didn't forget that you got your ass punked out by your brothers. And now you got the nerve to call women bitches and hoes every time you see them. Like, show some fucking respect. Maybe you'll get laid and won't have to go to the strip club to get your kinks, okay? Anyhow, I really don't like Corbin. Like, he's aggy as fuck. Everybody comes to volunteer to help the paint. Diamond is back in this episode, and while he's helping bring AC vents or whatever, filters and shit into the building, he goes into the Paradise Room, and of course he has that bad juju. He also has a bad scene with Big Bone. Now, y'all know in real life they are in a relationship and they have a baby on the way, but this scene was so cringe. So cringe. Diamond already can't act, and his accent is horrible. But Miracle Watts, Big Bone, she is originally from Texas. Texas is country. I'm from Texas. If y'all not from Texas, maybe y'all notice I've had an accent. Country as fuck, okay? And she from Houston. Real country as fuck. No offense, Tyra. But yeah, so anyhow, I hate how she's putting on this additional accent, like this additional twang to her already country accent. And then your character is from Texas. Bitch, talk in your regular voice because it's coming off cringe as fuck. But it's not just her. It's the screenwriting. The script is trash. That shit was cringy as fuck. And then direction. Direction can help a bad actor / actress. But the script was cringy as fuck too. Like, that whole part was like, who the fuck wrote this? This is horrible. Whoever wrote that part should have ripped that shit the fuck up. Big L also has a conversation with Diamond about how he's never leaving the paint because it is prime real estate. You got a river to the east, water to the west, FedEx to the north, and the highway to the south. So everybody wants a piece of the paint. And Big L said something that kind of made me tilt my head. He was like, to Diamond, he said, I'm going to need security like you that knows where all the bodies are buried. So when he says, I'm going to need security like you, I'm thinking, does Big L have plans too to take over the paint? And all the bodies are buried. How many niggas y'all out here killing? Huh? So then we find out that Haley also knows that the paint is prime real estate. Well, we've been new, but we find out that she's been planning to sell the paint from the jump, like since she stepped foot on the goddamn ground. How did she find out about this what's the word I'm looking for? Land? I have no idea because I definitely thought she was washed up. Now maybe in the midst of being there, she could have been thinking like, okay, this is a good business opportunity. But Uncle Cliff and Mercedes overhears her, and they basically call her out. Like, they basically call her out on her shit. Like, damn, like, we worried about everybody else trying to get the paint, and you, all the while, planning on selling anyways. And Haley's defense is kind of like, bro, it's only a matter of time before we get shut down, so we might as well get some money out of it. It's just a building. Take the money and go rebuild the paint bigger and better somewhere else. She kind of has a little point, but I think, correct me if I'm wrong, ain't this land Clifford's land? Like, didn't he like inherit this land or some shit like that? I think that's why he's not giving it up too. So y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's accurate. And Cliff is like, Haley, don't forget how you even got the money to buy this place. You only got that money because Mercedes pulled the trigger on Montavious or whatever the hell his name is. That's the only way you got that money. And then we also find out that the Africans who are helping with the COVID violations are plotting on the land too. But at the end of the day, they weren't able to bring their building up to par. They still get the $11,000 fine and they are still shut down. All right, let's go ahead and get into the final storyline of this episode, the Dirty Dozens tour. Don't I always say the best for last? I do. So we have Gidget's loud, annoying, white, unfiltered ass. She comes on tour with the crew. Mississippi gets her lash line into the beauty supply. And I do like how she notices that on the poster, they made her skin tone brighter. Rome just talks about, it's a filter. But we all know what the deal is. They don't really promote dark-skinned, beautiful black women like that for no marketing. I don't know if that's going to come up later, but I do like how Mississippi noticed that difference. All the while, Big Teak is distracted by the recent unarmed killings of black people. And when I mean he's distracted, he is on 10 about it, which is understandable. He's just really hostile about it. Because of this, he is constantly getting into it with Rome and Gidget about the situation. Because of the unarmed killing, I think they're in Tennessee. I'm not 100% sure. But there's a citywide curfew, and that cancels their concert. So instead of going to the club because of the curfew, they decide to go back to the hotel and just have a kickback and chill with one another. Now, Big T gets into it with Rome and Gidget for turning off the TV where the news had been reporting. Obviously, he was watching the news about the shootings. And they turn the TV off, and he gets very upset about it. He does come at Rome kind of wild, because he was like, who fuck told you to turn off my TV? Rome like, nigga, this is my hotel suite. What the fuck is you talking about? I'm trying to make a toast to Mississippi. Like, you bringing the mood down with this shit. And Big T, is just pleading the point that this shit is not okay. And Rome is like, essentially, black people bring it on themselves. Like, well, what was he doing to get pulled over? White people should have guns and stuff because black people are big and they need to be tamed and shit like that. And it was getting very, very, very coonery. Okay, it for sure was. So I understood Big Teak in that moment, like, nigga, what? and then Gidget's ass decides to chime in like, bitch, sit back. First off, you are not a part of this conversation. Second off, you are a guest on this tour. Sit back and shut the fuck up. And third, you are not a part of this conversation, bitch. You don't have no dog in this fight. You should just be the fuck quiet. But she gets all rowdy and stuff. And of course, Big T goes at her like, sit your pasty ass down. Ain't nobody talking to you. And she want to buck up like, I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of you. Bitch, you better be. Bitch, you better be. And then in the blink of an eye, she pulled them white woman tears out like, oh my God, he's just tweaking. Bitch, shut up. Because you didn't even have to say shit in the first place. All the while all this shit is going on, Big T breaking shit and gets escorted out the room. Mississippi is triggered because y'all know she comes from an abusive situation. Hold on. Yeah, I'm going to go into Mississippi now. After all of that, Big T is removed. Everybody's like chilling. She goes outside and sends Gidget back to Nashville on her way. Pays for her Uber and everything for $300. Right? Then Rome is like, hey, I think we need to get Big T fired. And she was like, nah, it's okay. You just can't talk about everything with everybody. And she's referring to Gidget. Mississippi, something about her character is annoying me because, girl, if you have a white friend, they need to be understanding and empathetic with what the fuck we go through as black people. And if not, then shut the fuck up. Because the whole time while on tour, Gidget was downplaying the situation just like Rome was. It's like, girl, I know this don't affect you, but you need to read the room. read the room, bitch. So, yeah, you can't talk to everybody about everything, but especially if you have a friend who is not black, they need to be understanding of what we go through in our community. And if they can't, you need to dismiss their ass. And for some reason, she is so nice to fucking white people. Like, her boyfriend, abusive, but she still stood by him. Her best friend, I ain't gonna say racist, but unfiltered and unempathetic, but she still stand by her. I don't know what it is about Mississippi, but she needs to get her shit together, because I ain't fucking with that at all. So, and all the while, what's his name? Wody hears that Ron wants Big T fired or whatever. He overhears that conversation. All right, let's go ahead and get into the controversial topic that is all over the internet. Big Teak and Lil Murda. So as y'all know, Big Teak was removed after he had his blow up, and later Lil Murda goes in to check on him. They kind of converse about how, like, no matter who you are, what's your status, how much money you have, if you are black, we are set up to fail. However, he is proud of Lil Murda for being that 1 out of every 100 that might make it, that might succeed. After that, they smash. To me, like I say earlier in this video, it was a lot of unwarranted sex scenes, because I don't have sex when I'm angry, Mercedes. I can't have sex when I have deep thoughts on my mind, Teak and Murda. But I don't know. So I feel like the sex scene was unwarranted. I do see online they were like, well, they went into detail about Lil Murda and Teak versus Mercedes and the wife. Theirs was kind of like brushed over. I could see that. I honestly feel like it's primarily because of 2 trade dudes. Because, I don't know, for some reason last year when it happened with Murda and Cliff, there was uproar. But I don't know, like, I'm seeing more of it this year. Or maybe I just don't remember. Who knows? It was a long time ago. But to me, I feel like it is because it's 2 trade dudes, primarily. I definitely was, like, wincing at the TV because it was like, I don't want to look, but I gotta look, you know? And it felt like it was their first time having sex, too, because Lil Murda kissed Big Teak, and when I tell you he was lingering in the aroma of it all, I was like, is this their first time? Or does he just really miss him? Do he really love him? Because Big Teak was in fucking love. Like, he was lusting after Lil Murda, okay? But the next morning, Big Teak wakes up and he finds a postcard written to Cliff from Lil Murda, because y'all know every city he hit, Lil Murda write a postcard to Uncle Cliff. I'm sorry, this part was funny to me. Big Teak is like, who the fuck is Cliff? All the time I've been out, you ain't never wrote me no postcards. Well, nigga, I ain't never been nowhere to get a postcard to write you to. Like, what you talking about? So Big Teak is butthurt, literally and figuratively, and he storms out of the room. At the end, while everybody's in the car about to go to the next city, the radio host, the person on the radio, they say things will get worse before they get better. And I feel like that is an omen or a hint to how things will turn out in the season. I do feel like things will get worse for our cast before they get better. But we do get a text message from Uncle Cliff to Lil Murda at the very end. And Uncle Cliff is checking on Lil Murda, especially given the state of the world. But Lil Murda has no expression on his face. Like, I could not read him at all. I didn't know if he was happy that Uncle Cliff texted. I don't know if he was still thinking about Big Teak. If he is thinking about the status of the world right now. Like, I could not read Lil Murda at all. So I am interested to see what's going to happen next episode. It looks like the tour is going to be over. Mississippi goes back home with her abusive ass white boyfriend. I don't know why you keep letting these white people shit on you, girl. Get your shit together. But the Dirty Dozen tour is my favorite storyline, so I am interested to see what is going to happen next. Be sure y'all drop down and leave a comment. What was your favorite part of this episode? What are your thoughts about the controversial sex scenes between Lil Murda and Big Teak? And make sure you hit subscribe to stay tuned for more videos just like this, and hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed. All right, I'll see y'all next time. It's a date.